Okay, hopefully recording ni boleh di-share kemudian. Okay, now I'm going to mention this through this recording, and I will also share this link inside YouTube for basically for making sure that the link can be accessed publicly, and also you can refer to it again and again. Okay, so I'm going to mention here for, let's say for example, sales and distribution. Sorry, I'm guessing this is the slide. This is the revision, this is the lab assignment. Okay, now this one. Okay, while we are waiting for that to open, so the situation for doing chapter 4, improvement through SAP, and chapter 5, implementation of SAP. So these two parts here, basically in a nutshell, first, the chapter 4, you are changing the existing flowchart. That is chapter 4. Chapter 5, you provide a mock-up screen. Okay, how do this mock-up screen works is basically you access the SAP, find a screen that you find suitable, or you think that is the most important screen that is you're going to be using inside your final assessment, screenshot and change the data according to your case company. Okay, we're going to see some example later. I'm just going through the description first. Okay, so is it finished? Download here. Okay. Is it already? Okay, it's already open. So now you're going to be improving it based on this process. Step 1 until step 17. It's not that, okay, now here's the thing. For you to get the highest mark, you basically need to depending on the flowchart that you have, you can either do these 3 different type of action. First, you may add. Second, you may remove. Third, you may change the steps of the existing flowchart. Those are the things that you may do. Now, siapa dekat sini include every single step 1 until step 17 into the existing flowchart of your case company, dapat markah paling rendah. Okay, so that is how the practice work. You only take the relevant process that should be added inside the flowchart. Okay, so ada soalan tak? Tak ada. Okay. Now, let's say for example, I'm going to, okay, take what is inside the lab just now, inside here, step 1, step 2, depending on which step, and then put it inside the flowchart. So you see here, I'm not stating how many items that you need to include. So basically, you may show additional or removal, then you're going to start getting 4 marks. Okay, description sama juga. Now here you just add the if you add process, you just add a new description. If you remove process, do not remove the description. Just potong, slash it. Okay. Kalau ikutkan guna yang function ni. Use this function here, this function. This function is basically to slash. Do not remove, just do this. Okay. And then for the process that you have added, please include new data. Now, this part here, I'm going to mention this because currently this is not inside the marking scheme, but it will give you extra mark if you get less. Okay, currently if you see here, brief introduction, new flowchart, add description, new vital data. Now, yang ni tak ada dekat dalam sini. Pemarkahan saya tak ambil, tapi dia membantu awak jika awak punya markah jika awak nak done is basically when you add new process, justify. So basically, you have three columns. You have the element, you have the description, you have the vital data, plus justification on the side. So you have those columns, element, description, vital data, and justification. Justification of what? If you remove, justify why you remove. If you add, justify why you add. If you change the step from top to bottom, from bottom back to up, justify why you change that. Okay. So that is all for part 4. I will show you the example later. But
Saya ada
before
soalan.
we proceed to part 5, any question?
Saya
Yes.
nak tanya ya. Um, Contohlah tadi presentation tadi kan kami punya ada silap dekat batu data description. So kalau kami change maklumat tu dia termasuk dekat part 2 or still in part 1?
Yang saya mention tadi itu okay, good question. Now, the things that I'm going to pass you back in terms of the comments during the presentation, those things will be impacting part 1. Okay. Revise your part 1 so that you can get better marks and then you may proceed with part 2. Now, jawab tak Syafiqah?
Jawab tak? Thank you sir.
Okay, now before we proceed, okay, now we move to chapter 5. Now, chapter 5, currently here, what you need to do is basically to get 5 marks, you need to provide minimal of 7 relevant screenshot. Macam mana nak buat? Masuk dalam SCP, log on, pergi ke mana-mana screen yang awak boleh buka. Okay, now kat sini, siapa yang save data dekat dalam SCP, that is very good for you, tapi no extra mark. Okay, siapa nak buat gitu boleh. But currently in term of this chapter 5, what you only need to do is basically masuk dalam SCP, tengok screen mana yang awak rasa paling penting, which are the screen that you find the most important for the case study that you are doing, case study, and also the topic that you are doing, either SD, MM, IWM, HCM. Kalau awak buat, if you are doing sales and distribution, go inside SAP, play around with the sales and distribution process, finding certain screenshot, minimum 7, screenshot, and then insert from there, put it inside Paint or something, and then start inserting data that is related to your case company. Okay, for example, if you are doing sales and distribution, you are doing sales order. If you are doing bakery, okay, notice that sales order for a business bakery, and this is for sales and distribution. So in the sales order screen, what you do is basically you insert the customer name, what are the item that the customer order down there, the quantity, and so on. For example, in terms of sales order, for the one that you are doing, you're going to be seeing DXTR 1000, PRTR 1000. Those information you can change. For example, cakes, for example, scones. This customer order 100. The second item, the customer order cream puff. You may use direct name or you may use material code. Tak ada masalah. Depend on how you're going to do this. The more realistic the screen looks like, and when I say realistic, which means that it's going to be related to your case company, not realistic in terms of just copy and paste from the internet. Copy and paste from the internet is going to be really realistic, but is it inside your case company? Susah sikit nak jumpa. So, please be honest, screenshot, input the data on your own. Do not screenshot from the internet. Okay. And then the next thing is basically, the first is screenshot, cari screenshot. The second part is the order of the screenshot, which means this is step 1, step 2, step 3. This will be depend similar when I mention here order, this will be referring back to your flowchart. Okay, and that is how you determine whether is it in the correct order or not? Okay, and then the final one for this part here is the data entry. Just like I mentioned just now, how do you do this? Go inside the SAP, login, find a screen that is related to your is it related to sales and distribution, material management? If you are in sales and distribution, go to screenshots that is related to sales and distribution. Screenshot, put it inside Paint. This is the most simplest way. The most simplest way. This is, for me, is basically asalkan lepas. Okay. This is the only tools that you have. Screenshot, put it inside Paint, and then start inserting data through Paint. Yang tu je. That is the minimal requirements for you to do part 5. You don't need to go inside the system. Saya nak cuba save. I try to save this data. No, I'm not going to go inside the system and check out your data. No, currently. The only thing that is only needed for you to be that you need to do is basically screenshot, make sure it's in the correct order, and then make sure each data is being inserted according to your case company. Okay, so any question on number 5? Tak ada? Okay.
No, sir.
I'm going to give you an example. Okay, from here. If you notice, currently I'm running your project in the Turnitin. So basically I will see which, there is 0. But I'm not sure. I don't trust Turnitin. Okay, I really don't trust Turnitin because currently, okay, there are certain issues where Turnitin doesn't detect the similar diagrams that was uploaded by previous student. Currently is basically, if you see here from here to, this one. So you see from 30th December, this is basically for previous SEM. They do barber shop, they do, there are a few shops, basically. There are 4 teams, okay. Hopefully this one is a good one. One moment. I'm going to choose, maybe this one is good, maybe. Okay, I'm going to show you based on example. Okay, you don't see the owner. You don't see the owner. You don't see the owner of this okay, you don't see okay, you don't see it. That is the conclusion. You may type in anything. So this is the part. So so this is not being inserted inside the this one does Taylor. So they change the name for the screen to Taylor. So this is how you're going to be doing this. This one, they didn't do it very correctly because currently here, there is still security guard. There is supposed to be something like tailor, or basically a position that is related to a tailor shop. Okay. So this is how you do chapter 5. Any question on chapter 5? Don't need to save, This one you don't need to save inside the SAP. Just screenshot and change the data into your case company data. Itu saja. Now, let us have a look at sample of chapter 4. Okay, if you see here, they mention justification. Why do they have this element? Why do they added a new element? They have justification. So this is, I'm guessing they do addition, no changes, which means that this was initially there. No changes. They didn't minus anything. So they didn't remove anything. So basically, you notice there is, they don't slash on anything. Okay. So that is how you do chapter 4. Any question? Okay, I'm guessing there is none. Okay, now before that, I need to raise some issues because currently during the presentation, the main purpose of the presentation is basically to make sure that your part one is ready for part two. That's the only thing. Okay. So basically, I've detected some problems with certain teams. I'm not going to mention their names here, so you know who you are. There are certain teams that I mentioned that do this, WhatsApp me back your part one in 3 days. Okay, so those are the critical ones. For the rest, if I didn't mention that, which means that you may do the small changes to your part one, and then you don't need to submit it back. You may just proceed with part two. So that is what is currently happening. Okay, so currently, I don't remember. There's one. I would like to raise this. Okay. I'm not going to mention which flowchart is the best because there is a lot of flowcharts that is currently not related to business process. They are basically most of the students just telling a story from what the interview that they have already done. Straightforward. Very good. Okay. Now, the best description is going to group 8. Group 8, there is one member with the best description so far, is very accurate to the flowchart. Very good. And then for the best vital data belongs to, I'm not sure which group. Siapa yang saya cakap tu, WhatsApp kat saya personally ya, supaya saya boleh tahu daripada group mana. Jangan dekat chat jangan dekat chat Google Meet pula. Please WhatsApp. You're not okay, you don't see anything. Okay, I'm now going to open WhatsApp on PC. Siapa semalam ke okay, some urgent things. Okay, now where was it? Okay, siapa tadi just now? Dah WhatsApp saya ke belum? Tak apa. WhatsApp je. Yang saya mention yang vital data paling cantik tu. Ada dua orang. There are 2 people. I don't remember from which group. One is a girl, one is a boy. Don't remember which group. Saya tak, kalau dah tak ada kat sini, I won't going to mention the group names lah. Okay. Now, those are basically the best. So basically, in terms of issues, currently there are 5 teams that is currently having issues with their part 1. So basically, please make sure those people who I mentioned that they are supposed to be sending me their part 1 as soon as possible. Try to do it. If you can submit by this weekend, then that will be good. So I can quickly recheck back of your part 1 so that you may proceed with your part 2. Okay. So I'm guessing that is all related to the briefing for final assessment. Now, any question before I end the class?
Sir, do final ni bila sir?
Do final ni nanti saya akan check balik. Kalau ikutkan saya akan extendkan jauh sikit lah. Tak adalah dia perlu submit by before study week. Kalau ikutkan study week, bila tarikh study week?
Sekejap sir, kami check jap.
Okay, tolong check ya. Because currently, if I remember correctly, there was a revision. Sebabkan ada kes banjir tu ya.
Sir, yang itu case study mark boleh check ke?
Case study marks, I will update the marks by on a weekly basis starting from this week. On each Friday, you may check your progress for each your current progress.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So kalau ikut yang baru punya yang lecturer lain bagi 29 bulan 1 sir.
29 hari bulan 1 start study week. Okay, so basically, okay, kalau ikutkan kita cuba letak date dekat situ dulu untuk final submission untuk semua daripada starting daripada first page, title page sehingga ke conclusion untuk final assessment. Kalau ikutkan setakat ni yang saya letak sampai 23 Januari kan? Okay, untuk senang cerita, submission submission will be open until I close it. So basically, during 30th of January, please try to submit everything. Sorry, it's 30th. Kalau boleh sebelum study week, try to submit everything. If I see that there are certain student that still hasn't submitted, I try to extend it a little bit. Sikit je, saya tak boleh nak extend banyak pun. Okay, so basically, the official date of when the submission will end, I will update you through WhatsApp. Boleh? Tapi setakat ni, boleh anggap study week tu tak semestinya tarikh terakhir awak untuk hantar. I'm just mentioning this. Try to finish this earlier. Okay, so are we clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing that should be all then. Ada sebarang soalan lain?
Tak ada sir.
Okay. Kalau tak ada, the next thing that I would like to do is basically, sekejap ya. It's basically on attendance. Okay, attendance has been made available inside column is being called student attendance final class. So basically this will be your final class for this semester officially. So the rest is basically for us to allow for other students to troubleshoot in terms of finishing their case study. Okay, saya stop sharing kat sini ya. Saya akan upload balik video ni kemudian supaya awak boleh refer balik. Okay, so that is all for today. Please make sure you insert your attendance and then that is all for today's class. Thank you very much. If there is no question, yes.
The attendance quiz is closed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. One moment.
And sir, how about the attendance for yesterday?
Yesterday attendance semuanya bergantung kepada siapa yang datang present. So basically semua datang present, semua attend lah.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So open the quiz. Okay.
So no more class means lab also no class, lectures no class.
I'm going to be I'm going to be on WhatsApp. Siapa yang ada nak troubleshoot for case study, you may WhatsApp me during the class. That is the only time untuk troubleshooting. Jangan troubleshooting waktu lain. Kalau sangkut masa lain, please wait until the lab or lecture session. Clear tak jawapan? Is it clear?
Clear,
Which
sir.
means no class.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay. I'm guessing that is the statement that you're looking for. No class. No official class, just for troubleshooting.
Sir, saya nak tanya. Sebelum ni kan saya ada tunjuk yang satu list doc yang tunjuk progress kita dekat SAP Logon kan sir?
Okay.
Yang tu macam kami boleh tengok tak sir? Sebab kita orang macam buat-buat pasal lupa kat mana step.
Kalau ikut bukan sekejap. Bukan ada ke? Ada kat yang ni saya tak update lagi. Ni ya. Sekejap saya share balik screen saya. Yang ni ya.
Saya bukan yang tu yang dimasukkan.
Which one?
Yang saya tunjuk dekat SAP logon tu terus. Kan saya akan login tu dekat sistem, lepas tu tekan satu-satu.
Oh, that one like sekejap. Ya. Tu kelas. Sekejap dah nak habis. Dah nak habis dah. Dah nak habis dah.
Tunggu habis dulu ke?
Tunggu habis. Yang you mean is it this one? Oh, busy pula ini. One moment. Is it this one yang ni ke? Yang ni? Betul. Apa nama Syafiqah?
Ya, sir.
Ya? Tak dengar?
Ya, sir.
Ya, yang ni. Okey, maklumat ni sama je tapi yalah dia tak updated. Maklumat ni samanya dengan apa yang ada kat sini. Macam awak tengok kat sini, sales saya ada mention berapa persen dah complete. Kalau siapa yang sangkut dekat yang ni, dia perlu sambung dekat step berapa.
I see, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, any more question?
No sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Ya, saya.
saya dah buat sampai CO and then tersangkut. Sir tak update yang baru. Boleh tak kalau sir update yang baru sebab saya tak.
Nak tahu
Saya
kat mana
tak-
sangkut ya?
Ha.
Okay, yang tu kena tunggu hari Jumaat.
Okay, boleh sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yang ni saya akan update every week on Friday starting from this week. Yang ni okay, currently yang paling so preparation untuk dah nak habis SEM, nak tutup SEM is basically yang ni. Make sure selesai yang final assessment, lepas tu quiz 2 nanti akan dibuka kemudian. Quiz 2 ni nanti saya buka kemudian lah. Quiz 2 ni boleh jawab bila-bila masa. Lepas tu nanti kalau nak jawab awal pun boleh. Lepas tu siapa dekat sini nak cuba re-attempt balik quiz 1 dengan quiz 2, saya akan open balik lagi sekali. Okay, jadi siapa kat sini nak cuba dapat markah lebih, boleh cuba attack dekat quiz 1 dengan quiz 2. Okay, clear?
Clear, sir.
If which one re-attempt tu maka lebih rendah, saya pilih yang mana?
Saya pilih markah tinggi.
Okay.
Okay lah. Okay, so
Sir,
Yeah.
last question. Lab assignment, sir nak late by bila semua?
semua lab assignment ni kalau ikutkan nanti saya akan update. Sila make sure yang ni awak submit kat dalam kalam Ada 2 part ya. Okay, yang ni kalau ikutkan paling latest pun nanti saya akan mention dekat dalam WhatsApp lah. Buat je dulu, siapkan je semua. Yang ni percuma 10 markah, yang ni kalau siap semua percuma tak adalah semua, kira sampai CO lah. Untuk lab ni buat semua, untuk yang assignment, yang lab assignment buat semua, yang assignment buat setakat CO sahaja. Lepas tu kalau semua selesai, tak ada sangkut, markah free 25%. Sedap oh, 25%. Banyak oh.
Banyak sir.
Okay, sir. Banyak-banyak.
Nah, bukannya semua subjek bagi awak markah free 25% tanpa ada sebarang judgement daripada lecturer. Yang ni kalau sistem kata siap-siap, saya okey je. Okay, so that's it. If there is no question, thank you very much. See you. Siapa yang kat sini ada problem dengan case tadi, see you on next week, Tuesday. Okay, thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,